Taking a look today at Bitcoin and the transits occurring from now, June the 16th through June the 28th. In my previous video on the cycles, the new moon cycle that started on June the 14th, I didn't go into detail regarding these transits because I was more focused on understanding how the cycle was going to overall play out, and I was looking at different techniques and re-looking at from logarithmic order. So now I'm going to look at the transits. During the new moon, which is on the 14th, the North Node was trining to the moon, signaling more of a positive momentum. This month, we have Mercury that goes retrograde on the day of the full moon. So that second half of this cycle could be more challenged than the first half. But let's take a look at the transits. Starting with Bitcoin first. June the 12th, Uranus was trining to Bitcoin's Mercury. This could have also been impacting the new moon because that was on the 14th. It's 2 days after this transit exactly occurred. So that could have also been helping to increase the momentum during this new moon. Also, yesterday, Mercury was at its greatest elongation from the sun. What that is when the angle is the widest from the sun, not the distance, but the angular was the widest. And those are shown to have a change in the trend. I just did a live stream looking at this. If you'd like to go look at that, I'll leave the link below. So that was June 15th, which is here. You can see that from the new moon, moved higher, and now it's moving sideways, and it's currently June the 16th, about 2:30 p.m. as I am recording this video. On the 16th, Venus is also trining the moon, Bitcoin's moon. That's very positive, giving the traders that emotional stability, the most emotional joy or happiness to make the market move in more of a positive direction. And also in the general transits, Venus is trining to Neptune. Venus rules Bitcoin's midhaven. So that is going to give this positive momentum. Now, it's currently moving sideways, the market. I was looking at a 4-hour chart, and that could be due to Saturn coming into its exact square with the sun on the 17th. Now, I feel that this is going to challenge the market. That could also be why the market's starting to move sideways now. In the very beginning of the day, a change in the trend, from that new moon, change in the trend from that Mercury at its greatest elongation, Uranus trining to Bitcoin's Mercury, Saturn squaring the sun right at the IC line. That's at the very bottom of the chart, drawing prices down. Now, in the research that I've been doing over the past 2 weeks, planets that were talking to the natal sun of whether it's the New York Stock Exchange or Bitcoin does show a change in direction, show either a decrease, increase, depending on what the planet is and what it's doing to the sun. In this case, it's Saturn. Saturn is squaring the sun. Saturn rules this chart. I do feel that this is going to be more of a challenge momentum tomorrow on the 17th. Possibly even we could be seeing the market changing now as we speak from the new moon on the 14th. It went up, yes, but we could see that the market is starting to change and shift since about 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we could see this trending downwards, possibility. During the new moon, the North Node was trining to the moon. That does show more of an increased momentum, more of a positive direction. So it's possible that we saw the greatest effects of Saturn squaring the sun in the last cycle with the North Node squaring the moon. Very challenged market during that cycle. But I do still feel that this is going to challenge the markets and have more of a downward trend tomorrow, June 17th. The moon will be at 0 degrees of Leo. It's in Bitcoin's 7th house. It is near Venus. But the moon is also opposite to Bitcoin's Jupiter and Mercury. I do feel that this is going to be challenging the market. Saturn will also be opposite to Bitcoin's midhaven. So again, I do feel this is challenging. Now, this happens at 9:21 a.m. Earlier in the morning, we could definitely see some very negative red candles in the market. And as I said just before showing the chart, we could be starting to see this trend happening now. The market could start to just trend downwards from now through tomorrow morning. Even throughout the day, we could see overall challenge momentum or even sideways, not moving up so much. One thing to note of what's happening tomorrow, Mars is trining Bitcoin Saturn. It occurs very early in the morning. Okay, so let me change that. I feel like now, from now through tomorrow, we're going to see the overall trending downwards, the markets from Saturn, squaring Bitcoin Sun next to its IC. But we could have a brief increase in price, strong green candles early in the morning due to this Mars trining to Saturn. But I do feel the overall trend will be negative and downwards. June the 18th, Mars will be exact squaring to Bitcoin's Neptune. This is surprising, it's sudden, it's unexpected. I do feel that this could be also challenging, but again, this could be positive. So 18th is in question. It could continue the downtrend from Saturn on the 17th, or it could suddenly shift the direction and start to increase the prices dramatically. Neptune is a wild card. The moon will still be in Leo during that time. And it is making an aspect to the North Node. It's opposite to its natal North Node. So I do feel that Neptune squaring to Mars, squaring to natal Neptune could be more challenged as well. So the 17th and 18th could have overall challenge momentum with a brief spike in prices early in the morning on the 17th from Mars, trining to Bitcoin Saturn. Now, the 17th and the 18th, the 19th and the 20th in the general transits, Chiron enters into Taurus and Uranus will square this North Node. I do see that Uranus squaring the North Node is a sudden decrease of prices, unexpected downtrend. Now, it won't be so unexpected if Saturn is causing negative momentum on the 17th and Mars and Neptune are also continuing that trend. So 17th, 18th, 19th, and the 20th, this could just be overall challenge momentum downwards. Chiron entering to Taurus. Chiron's not a planet, but it's something that is changing a sign. So that is a change of direction, a sudden turn of events that causes a major shift in the markets. Uranus squaring the North Node. I do feel these will be challenging the market. So the 17th through the 20th, even the 21st, we could have challenged markets. Negative momentum. The 21st, as I said, it could be negative momentum due to Chiron and Uranus squaring this North Node. This could be leftover fallout from this transits. On the 21st, the Sun does trine Bitcoin's Venus. That is very positive because the Sun is also entering into Cancer. The 21st could be the change of trend from negative challenge to start to becoming positive. This happens early in the morning. Sun enters Cancer at 4:25 a.m. and Sun trine Bitcoin's Venus, 9:42 a.m. So in the morning time of the 21st, we could start to see a change of market direction, change in the trend from negative to positive. The 22nd, Sun is opposite to Pluto. I do consider that to be challenging. The 22nd could be challenging, could be sideways as well from this Sun entering into Cancer. Could just be more sideways than anything. 23rd, there are not any transits occurring, so I'm not even going to go into what that is. That could follow the trend from the 22nd. The 24th, Venus will sextile Bitcoin's midheaven. That is very positive. Sun trines the North Node, so I could see that more of a positive direction. The 25th, Sun squares the Moon and Chiron sextile to Venus. And in general transit, Sun trine Saturn and Sun squared Neptune. The 25th, with the Sun squaring to Bitcoin's Sun, opposites Mars, opposite Pluto. That is a challenge, but the Moon will be in a sextile to the Sun. Saturn is still squaring this Sun. Chiron is sextile to Bitcoin's Venus. Okay, so Chiron is a positive transit. It's an outer, we'll call it an outer planet transit. So it moves slowly. So it could have this positive influence to the market. And especially with this moon sextile to Bitcoin's sun, this could be a very positive day. Actually, this could most likely will be positive. I'm just saying there's a possibility of challenge momentum at a certain point because the sun is squaring to Bitcoin's moon. The moon is very important. It's the emotions. So this could be more volatility than anything else. And that's the 25th. So the 24th, if this is going to be very positive day, the 25th, the 24th will also be very positive, which it looks like it to be. Even the 23rd could also be positive. There's not any transits happening that day. That could also be very positive. Now, one thing I do want to preface is with Saturn at the very bottom of the chart, this could have a long duration effect. It's slow, it's delayed reaction. So while the 14th and the 15th didn't seem to have such a strong influence of Saturn at the bottom of the chart, the days following could be where the challenge momentum is. So 17th, 18th, 19th, we could have challenge momentum. 20th, 21st, 22nd, even to the 23rd with Uranus squaring the North Node, that could all be challenged regardless of what I just said. If it is all challenged and negative from the 17th through that 23rd, it's because of Saturn next to the IC, Chiron in Taurus, and Uranus squaring this North Node. If not, then what I said previously regarding these days should come to fruition. 27th, Jupiter will be opposite to natal Jupiter. This is a challenge. It's Jupiter. Jupiter is very important in general. And this could affect the 26th, even the 25th, this could influence. Now, I know I keep going back and forth of this could be this could be that, but outer planet transits, especially Jupiter, tends to influence the markets earlier than the exact transit. So this is on the 27th, the 26th, the 25th. It could be more negative than positive and override this Chiron sextiling Bitcoin's Venus. So let me repeat that really quickly. June the 16th, I see this as a challenge because of Saturn squaring Bitcoin's sun next to the IC line. This could stay negative through the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th. Also due to Chiron entering Taurus and Uranus squaring this North Node. So the 17th through the 20th, there's strong possibility it will be negative challenge momentum. This momentum could last through the 22nd and the 23rd. If that doesn't have this continued long duration of challenge momentum, then the 21st could be positive, Sun trine Venus. 22nd, I would say that's challenged. The 23rd and the 24th, I see that as positive. The 25th is in question because of Jupiter opposite to natal Jupiter. I feel that this will overtake positive momentum. And the 25th, 26th, and 27th could be challenged, negative momentum as well. There could be a brief period on the 25th of very strong positive momentum with the moon sextile to Bitcoin's sun and Chiron sextiling to natal Venus. 28th is the day before that full moon and the day before Mercury stations retrograde. Mars will also be sextiling to Jupiter in the general transits. I see this as positive. Mars makes things move, gives action. So we could see the 28th as possibly as positive if Jupiter opposite Jupiter is not strongly still influencing the market. And that's the day before this new full moon. And I'll come back with another video for that. So I hope this was helpful. I will continue to monitor this to see how it unfolds. And I'll leave a link in the description for my live stream where I went over the planets, Venus, Mercury, Mars being furthest and closest to the sun and looking at the pattern of the change in trend for Bitcoin and New York Stock Exchange. If you'd like an astrology reading, my link is in the description below. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share.